Coming up on Reliving Single.
John Hinton.
It's going to be John, all the time John. Man, that little girl is your heart and she knows it.
And she takes all my money. No, don't ask me no silly questions like
stronger
that.
as he goes.
I'm still mad because you kissed him.
He
but
kissed me.
This is big time stuff. Show business. That's it. This is before computers had hit. So I was on top of it.
You should have
hear me?
stayed
I
there,
was ready.
brother.
But I wouldn't have met you.
No, for sure.
I wouldn't have met you.
If you met me, you'd have had ducats.
Come on now.
Welcome back to Reliving Single, the official, unofficial Living Single Rewatch podcast. And this week, we're excited to have our favorite handyman, John Hinton, back with us. Bravo.
So good. So good to be back with y'all.
Yes,
so
thank
good.
you. And
y'all
you're
looking
so
good.
damn good.
Ooh, y'all
dapper.
just sexiness.
Can I feel on you?
It's just too much sexiness.
Yes.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Oh my.
I
I tell
love
you
it.
what.
I tell you what.
I tell you why.
Look here. Look how I'm looking.
I tell you how.
No.
Okay.
All right. Now let's focus.
Let's focus.
How about
Right.
that?
Let's talk about
Yeah.
your relationship with Kim as comedy partners. I mean, we have to talk about it. It's a stuff of legend. Let's just get into that a little bit.
I had the best. I had the best partner to be able to play with. And I've said this many times, and I'll tell you again to your face, you are a walking encyclopedia
Yes.
of comedy, of film, of animation. And I love how you weave all of that together and make it your own. Like you really know your stuff, John. You do.
Useless trivia. That's me. I'm the king of that. But you and I both, TV baby. It's like very seldom can I throw you. If I throw something out there, you're gonna get it.
I'm gonna catch it.
So
and throw it right back at you.
Because that's what's happening. Because we grew up watching all that stuff, which is how we got into it. Because our love for comedy. We watched everything from Uncle Milty way back in the day, and
Flip
Honeymooners,
Honeymooners,
Flip Wilson,
Sanford and Son,
Bugs Bunny, anything. The Little Rascals. I'd take something from anybody.
That's the
Stymie. Stymie was a genius.
for sure.
And Jerry Lewis, of course. You and I both love.
God, Buddy Love.
Come on. What?
What'll it be? Oh, come on. Anyway.
You know, you have your own voice, but you obviously got filled up with a lot of amazing, material.
Just timing, just voice inflection. Like George Carlin his jokes would hit differently because voice inflection, the way he would just switch right in the middle of a joke. So it was just so many different ways of getting, conveying and getting that point across.
I've always laud you for your ability to take the lines and add some different musicality to them. And you have your own musicality, and we each all did that, and it just made it special off the page. Yeah. And you were fun to play with because you not only you brought all that with you, but then you brought yourself to it too.
Oh.
And you brought the little flirtation and the little loving on us. And so we would then sparkle and feel good. And then that makes you feel like we sparkle. You go, thank you, John.
Well, y'all supposed to sparkle. Y'all. I'm
so
just
to
saying,
play with you was a great
Well,
treat.
by the way, speaking of sparkling, y'all had chemistry.
Yeah.
Now, what accounts for that? Because you didn't know each other before the show, did you?
No.
I was just a fan, but that's enough.
And you
Knew
both
of
admired
her.
each other.
Yeah, knew
But
of
when you
her.
got on there, you liked each other beyond even the page, and that are, of course, ads, and that's lovely. But I'm saying, what makes that? Like you can't manufacture that. What do you think is in the formula for chemistry?
In my case, it was just the fact that I was a fan of hers from the start. So when you're a fan of somebody and they're pretty, you get to play the love interest. So the chemistry is just natural for us. It wasn't nothing you can manufacture, but if you got respect for somebody and you admire them and you get a chance to work with them, it's like, you want this to work. So we gonna do what we got to do to make this work,
Right.
I was going to say respect too. The respect piece was there first. So I was a fan. There was a respect. And I know, you've got your own comic sensibility that you bring to your stand-up. That's all I knew about you. So I already liked that and I already trusted that. And although it may be different from mine, I knew again that if I could throw something, you could throw it back. And I was excited to see how it morphed and how it morphed and melded. Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you
Yeah.
guys got a ton of stories about that. You know what? Let's get into this.
Oh.
What we fixing to get into?
We're going to get into
We
this
haven't talked about the
episode. We're going to
episode
talk
yet.
about, and then the whole time we're going to be able to talk about you, your background, your inspirations, obviously the chemistry between you both, and the character. So let's get into it. You ready?
I'm
Okay,
ready. Let's
come
do
on.
this.
Come on.
It's time for the rewind, where we watch and relive Living Single with you.
Okay, welcome to Living Single Season 1, Episode 20, Hot Fun in the Wintertime. How about that? In our A story, Sinclair wins a trip for 2 to the Bahamas, but she is suddenly plagued by overly attentive friends, Khadijah and Overton, vying for a chance to be her vacation partner. And in the B story, it's the War of the Roses, as Max and Kyle go tit for tat with their practical jokes in an attempt to sabotage each other's dates. Oh, things are heating up.
Written by Bernadette Luckett, B. Luck, my girl, and directed by Ellen Gilson.
Nice.
Ellie L. Guest stars Miguel Nunez as Gold.
Come on.
He's back.
Some people just leave that impression. Richard Lyons is Michael. Janelle Kennedy as Rebecca. Michael J. White. He was on the show too as Steve. I don't remember that. Lawrence T. Rentz as Mark.
Okay, who replaced Diana Ross?
Was it Jean Terrell?
What are you doofus cake?
Caller number 19, you're our Party in Paradise winner.
So Sinclair, what'd you win? An all-expense paid trip for 2 to Paradise Island.
Ooh, girl, that's the Bahamas.
That would be you and another person other than you.
And there's nothing more romantic than going to a tropical isle with somebody who's been working out lately and probably looks real good in the speedo.
Overton, man, I can't go.
Sinclair, now look, you take whoever you want. Never mind about family and advancement in the workplace.
Come on now.
Now who's
Come on.
supposed to get it?
Who would
come
you
on,
take
yeah.
in this scenario?
Come on now.
Who would you take?
You take your boyfriend.
That's a no-brainer.
Especially since we were newly minted, we were locked in.
Yeah.
And the way you grabbed me when you came through the door,
Yeah.
listen, something.
Yeah, but wait a minute. Let me ask a question.
Yeah.
Y'all are grabbing each other, but you just started kissing. I don't think y'all have been
No,
sleeping
we
with
didn't
each
have
other.
sex.
No,
yet.
but we doing that in the Bahamas.
No,
Oh,
That's an opportunity.
Wait.
The sun and the fun.
Oh
The sun and the fun.
And the fun.
But so on a vacation, you'd rather take a lover than a family member.
Yeah, certainly.
Okay.
But Khadijah has a strong argument.
Has he put in enough work? Overton, has he put enough work to warrant being the one going?
Mhm.
You're just starting to date.
Yeah, but there's gonna be some work on this vacation.
You know?
Look, I've said too much.
Sand will get in crevices, and he wants to help me get the sand out
I
the
was,
crevices.
I was gonna be very attentive and
Okay.
take care of things.
I would think so.
Yeah, but
I wouldn't want to
come
go
on,
with
it's
my
a
cousin.
no-brainer. You know, the boyfriend's supposed to go.
Everyone thought that your character, Sinclair, was wrong. And you weren't. It was Jean Terrell, right?
Right.
Yeah,
It was Jean
Once
Terrell.
again.
And that's not a popular answer. Like you think it was, one of the
Cindy
other girls.
Merritt
Mary,
song.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
what I was
something like
thinking.
that.
I don't remember
Jean
Terrell.
Terrell.
No.
Me neither.
But I love that your character calls me a doofus, but I got the answer right. And certainly I'm not taking you. So if you
I love it. Oh, well.
I love the word
She's the
doofus.
doofus. Sinclair was right.
Hey, Kyle. Oh, Kyle, your wife was here, man. But don't worry, I covered for you. Don't even think.
Okay. Look, this is what it is. Let me...
Explain it to your wife.
Yo, Kyle, what you up to?
What? I'm just making conversation, baby.
Yeah, Max, relax.
Oh, wait. He got to you too, didn't he? Oh, you two in this together. Okay.
Max, I think you've been working too hard. Come on.
Yes, I have. In fact, let me take a rain check on that. I'm not going out like that.
Whatever you say. And give me a call when you're feeling better.
See, I don't know what you had planned, but it's not going down tonight.
It just did. Your man is gone.
How about that? Tit for tat.
Tit for tat.
That's right.
First of all, it's that iconic laugh that he added to the show. He's got that beautiful bass voice, and it was a part of Kyle's character.
Right.
Right.
And he sounds like he came from Transylvania. Do you enjoy seeing him dress up and do his thing? Because it was different from what you were rocking.
Yeah, he's got money. He's doing his thing, and he was always dressed impeccably. You know, once in a while, you might see Overton in the suit.
Yes.
But not often.
And that's when it was really nice because we only saw it once in a while. When you
Yeah.
did, it was like, pow.
Whenever we went to church, you looked deacon fresh.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah. And here we have this, of course, Richard Lyons, who's your real life boyfriend.
Yes.
He gets to play
Yes.
Michael again on the show, looking great,
He
looking
does.
adorable,
We all look good. It was we're young and fresh.
and young and happy, right?
and happy.
And this love-hate relationship that you and Kyle have, he takes you down.
Yeah.
He takes you down and messes up this date for you, and that was his plan.
Right.
Mhm.
Manipulate.
plan?
So now you got to
Manipulation.
get him back. 'Cause
Gotta
you
get
ain't
him
going
back.
out like that.
You ain't going out like
and
a
that's how
sucker.
this madness continues.
Yeah, it
It's
continues.
true. But you know, that's foreplay for them.
Yeah.
All
yeah.
of this is, you know, how they stimulate each other. Isn't that horrible? It's such a sickness.
It's such a sickness. It's so
really
weird.
is. But that's how y'all get down.
That's how we get down. Oh, by the way, want to give a little shout out to Richard Lyons, who played Michael, because he's always collateral damage in these episodes. Every time we look up, he's being left
Yeah.
for Christmas, or he's, you
That's
know,
right.
Right.
yeah. Michael is kind of plays a little clueless.
Right.
Yeah, and he did that well
He
because
did.
Richard is not clueless.
Not at all. He was taking
That's a
the
Philly
prize
kid.
home. All right, what happens then?
So, how was your day?
Well, honestly, Overton, all I've been thinking about is who I'm going to take to the Bahamas. Khadijah really, really wants to go.
More wine?
Oh, no, I don't think so. You know, it goes straight to my head. All righty.
Oh, hell. I can't do this. I mean, this isn't me.
Well, then who is it?
It's him. Look, baby, I really want to go on this trip, but not like this, and definitely not in this jacket.
Aww. I love when he's tying your ascot. Just
The flare.
the
flare.
the flare. And you wore it well. You wore it well, even though it wasn't really you.
It wasn't me. No.
Mm-mm,
That's why I had to come out of it.
You did.
And he had to be, because that's the thing about Overton. He's honest.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
he wants to go. It's like, you know, like you said, not like this. You know,
Mhm,
so he's just gonna be real, and you know, whatever happens, happens. So
That's
I
true.
always dug that about his character, and I think that's what a lot of people dig about
Yeah.
us, about the relationship. That it was just real and
Yeah.
it was open, honest.
Are
know?
you like Overton in that respect? Or would you have, schmoozed and smooth?
Yeah, would you put on the jacket?
No, I wouldn't put on, the smoking jacket. That's not me. I can't be anybody but me. I wouldn't have done that. But I would have tried to get on that trip.
Like, you
know.
would have used your charming
Yeah,
ways.
I'd have said something, schmooze, some flowers, something. I'd have did something, but smoking jacket, no, that's not.
Okay. You wore it well. How is your Mac style different?
From-
Overton's?
How is John's Mac style different from Overton's?
Don't really have a style. It's my thing is always just being real. It's like if somebody is into you, then you don't really have to do anything. But for me, I'm a comic, so a lot of women like somebody that can make them laugh. I just be myself. I'm just doing that on the real, and then the rest of the way, I wasn't good with the macking and stuff.
Right,
I just go with the real.
Okay.
And if you don't like the real, then get to stepping.
Did you
But-
figure that out in high school? Were like you good in high school? Like you were surrounded by women because you were funny and guys like you were like popular?
I was really shy for a long time, but the laughter always helped. And any relationship that I did have, which was mostly most of my relationships.
Reveal.
No, it was mostly waitresses at comedy clubs.
Oh wow! Okay,
It was just a
that's like
natural.
shooting fish in a barrel.
It was a natural thing that
They dare shoot.
they were into comedy and I was into Pretty Women, and I had a few cocktail waitresses, which is why I always tip big.
I bet.
Maybe the real tip was getting to date you.
That's what I said. That's
Well,
what she said.
That's what she
Tips
said.
big.
Wait, oh, behave.
Oh, behave.
Oh, ladies.
I love
Stop
it.
it.
Well, I love out of integrity, he abandons this plan and goes back to just being sweet Overton.
Because that's what works.
Just a little migraine. Well, maybe you should see a doctor. I've seen the doctor. Basically, he says I need a vacation. Sure, I could clear my schedule next week, but where would I go?
Oh, Khadijah, I feel so sorry for you.
Oh, man, stress comes with the territory.
No, that you would stoop so low to try to get a free trip out of me.
The Sinclair character, you're confused.
Well, I love that she plays this whole migraine thing.
Yeah.
And the way Ellen shot it was that we see her, perspective of what
Yeah.
she's really like, I'm going to try to fool her into
Yeah.
this.
I don't know.
And Sinclair is not fooled. And I love that. That's why I say she's not dumb. She knew what was going on.
All
Well, then,
right, let's get into the dilemma.
Next.
Deja, I thought I saw you. What y'all talking about?
Nothing. Unless Sinclair has something to tell me.
Or me,
Or me.
or I.
Yes, I've made my decision. Thought long and hard. I'm taking Regine.
Do you see what happens when all you think about is yourself? I'm going to the Bahamas.
Plot twist.
Plot
Yeah.
twist.
Who saw
She
that
wasn't
one
even
coming?
in.
No
That
one.
one
No
because
one.
she really wasn't trying. I don't think
Right.
Regine was trying and vying for herself
No.
Right.
in that place. So it really was just a pure place. Do what you need to do, girlfriend. And when faced with these two coming at her, she's like, I'm going to go a completely different direction.
Mhm.
I think she's
So-
wrong for that. Family versus boyfriend, yes, I get it. But she's afraid to disappoint. And that's one thing. I think Sinclair is a people pleaser.
100% a people pleaser.
And Regine is neutral ground like Switzerland.
In
I can
this
choose
case,
her and no, neither one of them will be mad, but she only makes things a little
Mhm.
worse.
Mhm.
which is rare for her because, Regine, we see her as very self-centered and, this
She's
is what-
always got an angle.
always
Yeah.
got an angle,
always.
and she has no angle this time. She's pure.
And that's why she gets the prize.
And it
That's why
worked
she gets
out.
the prize. Starts dancing with the alligator.
Do you think that Overton is selfish?
Not really. I mean, Overton probably thought this would be a great vacation with my girl, and we can really get some stuff started here.
But I feel like the pressure is still on because there's Khadijah who's pressuring her. Do you think that Overton should have said, man, pick your
Go
cousin?
take your cousin and stuff like that. Well, the fact that it was new, you would think the family member would back off. Because
Right.
it's got a new relationship here. Take your man on down there and see what you got. See if it's something that she should have backed off, not me.
That's true.
No, don't ask me no silly questions
getting
like
stronger
that.
as he goes.
I think everybody knows the answer to this one. It's a no-brainer. The nerve of you. How you gonna ask me the?
So you play Sinclair.
Yes.
Do you feel like they were wrong for doing that?
Absolutely wrong. To pressure, knowing that I am a people pleaser, knowing that I want to please everyone and that I can't. No, someone's going to be mad at me. But I also agree that Khadijah should have said, "Go on down there with your man, have a good time." Was she jealous that I had a man and she didn't? I don't know.
Ooh.
Right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Right?
Lay
Was
that
that
one
like
on
I ain't
her.
got nobody
See?
to go away with?
See, that's what I'm
Jealousy.
saying.
That
You-
happens
you
sometimes.
would step up in between somebody, a new relationship.
Oh
that's
no,
happening.
let them
That's just
go.
wrong.
Like,
Yeah.
go girl, have a good time. Tell us all about it.
Yeah.
Is what I would say
Mhm.
if I were Khadijah. But she wants a break too. Is an entrepreneur. She doesn't have the
She
money
was
to go and take a
tired.
trip. She's working all the time.
And she's
Yeah.
paying you,
right.
So in a way, don't you owe her? Khadijah's really, put herself out on the line for her.
I could see in one
A lot of-
paradigm. In
okay.
one paradigm, I owe her. But in
Maybe.
one paradigm, I just want to get it on with my new man.
That's
Or not-
true.
or just
but
go-
that sounds like you just got hot pants. You are selfish for not helping your cousin who's been helping you all this time.
And that
So
was
I
the
owe
dilemma.
her.
I absolutely see that you're
Yeah.
trying to get it on, and he's right. It's a new relationship, but also she works so hard and she's always so stressed. And there you have a free trip.
And you got
Maybe
a
you should
chance
be
to.
thinking about
Mm.
her health and wellness.
Welcome to my dilemma.
Yeah. I wonder how this turns out.
So you having a good time?
No, ask me why.
I'm scared too.
What did I tell you? I can't believe you're not taking me. I'm your own cousin.
Oh, Khadijah, really? You're being a little petty now.
Let me explain something to you, Lucy. I am family. And fam means you take care of them when they're sick, you help them when they're down, and you take them to the Bahamas.
That little dance move.
Yeah.
Come on, the dance.
Come on.
move.
I'm sure that was Latifah's idea.
It
I'm
was.
su- It was,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Yes. Then you got into
All
it.
I had to do
Yeah.
is, get into the groove. And that's the comedy that, again, it's not on the page. It's what we add to it and
Just
just play
throw it
with
in
it.
there.
And why were we dancing like that?
because y'all are crazy.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like
Do
it's like
you
an
need an
angry.
excuse?
It was the angry
It's
dance.
an angry dance,
Yeah.
right?
Just-
It
just
was so good.
shoulders,
The
just-
shoulders.
But we were
the shoulders.
also always referencing old shows, and I'm sure she got it from something and then
Right.
just started doing it.
Right.
And I think once you guys start making yourself laugh, I mean, it's
We-
over.
we
It's
made
gonna
ourselves laugh all the time.
There's no
Yeah,
doubt.
yeah.
Do you think the truth hurts when Khadijah tells Sinclair that you're a burden and you owe me?
Of course, it
Mm.
hurts. It's, and I don't think in that moment in that moment that's not a ploy to take the trip. It's just I need you to know that you've been a burden. I'm doing a lot here, and you're not, I guess, holding up your end of the bargain or whatever it is, and that's an ouch
Yeah.
Yeah.
for real. And sometimes what people really think is like, oh, I didn't know that was brewing under the surface. Wow.
But
I'm
is she a
burden?
drain? Is Sinclair a drain?
Here's the thing. I think Sinclair brings joy and childlike wonder and light and trolls and all the things, but she's not the most efficient in the office. Joy is always wonderful, but that's not enough. Joy ain't gonna pay the bills.
So that would be a yes. Sinclair is a drain.
A
Major,
drain?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
well-
just
I'm a
listed some really
drain?
great. Well,
She's not adding to the, making the business move forward, but she's joyful. You're gonna have fun while
Yeah.
you're going
Yeah.
down. I
she'd like
guess.
to put joyful on a check.
Right,
when
right.
it's time
right,
to pay.
Right, right.
Joyful ain't gonna work. I mean, listen, it's some truth in it. Perspective is good, right?
You really have been a bit of a burden. You know, it's like I'm holding you up. At least you
Right.
could do is this. So
Yeah.
Right, right.
Yeah, but she
Ow.
contributes. Let's be clear.
Yeah.
Sinclair contributes to the office.
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
and we've already gone through that because she fired you once
Right.
Yeah.
and hired you know
Isabel
who's your,
Sanford.
yeah, baby.
Flavor.
Flavor.
Excuse me, aren't you Kyle Barker? Well, yes, I am. For you. What's this? Subpoena for non-payment of child support. What? This one's for indecent exposure.
Excuse me.
By order of the Honorable Maxine Shaw.
Boyaka, boyaka!
Max! There you are.
Kyle is behind this.
Look, I ain't got time for this, Max. Look, when you and Kyle have finished playing your little games, why don't you give me a call?
Goldie.
Goldie. Miguel.
Miguel.
Miguel Nunez.
How did he get the number?
Okay, so if you
Okay.
can remember, anybody that's seen the show straight through, when they go to the club, Max is trying to get rid of Goldie, so she gives Goldie her phone number, but it's not her phone number; it's Kyle's. And so I think the writers use that, knowing that Kyle has the number. He set up that Goldie gets
Right.
invited to the
Yeah.
party.
Like, come on
That's
over
great.
here, girl. Yeah, I can't.
Drinking a 40.
Right.
Always.
So even though Kyle and Max are going at it, by the way, they are a match. They're both toxic. So that's kind of cool. There's never a conversation about morality between them.
No,
Somehow,
no.
that's kind of nice that your characters are having it.
Right.
But no one ever says that about
No.
Max and
No.
Kyle.
Because y'all do anything.
Oh,
Y'all-
yeah. This Welcome to the Terror Dome
Yeah,
with them.
just exactly.
I think there's probably integrity at work. There's integrity in what you do and integrity what he does at work. But between the two of
The
you, all bets
relationship,
are off.
But what are they afraid of?
Vulnerability.
Yes.
Yeah.
And somehow I think each of you thinks that to give yourselves over to this attraction, this potential love thing would mean losing something.
Right.
And it's too bad that you don't find out. Well, you find out when you find out that giving into it is actually not losing anything at all. But I think we as human beings, we think we're going to lose so much if we give into this thing, and there's nothing to be lost. Even if it doesn't work out, there's nothing that's lost.
Neither one wants the other one to have the upper hand.
No.
And that's the thing, because you're just two strong people, and you know that the other person is strong too, and you know that how this is going to work out. Somebody's going to have the upper hand. Y'all just scared because y'all crazy.
One of the things we never talk about is how being ambitious and being successful can blur sometimes or limit your happiness, because once that falls away, who are you? And I think that they don't stop long enough to contemplate who they are. So of course they're battling because they don't want to be seen. They don't want to be vulnerable. They don't want to give in power struggles, but also they don't know who they are, especially Max, without all the stuff that precedes her. Her conviction and all of these things have driven her to be fantastically successful and, prominent. But who is she?
Well, we've also have found out by this time that she's 25, which we've done the math on that.
Yeah,
for her to
that's
have to be a partner and to have all these successes means that she started early, means she peaked. Or I'm not saying you don't have another peak, but I
No.
mean you've been going at it. You're probably a great scholar. You probably skipped a few grades, and who knows, you might have gone to college at 16 instead of 18. And so there's this pressure to hold on to that. And that's a lot. That's a lot to hold on to.
So between, Max serving Kyle 2 subpoenas and Kyle bringing in Goldie, whose pranks were better?
Let's see a show of hands. For Goldie, hands up. Really? For subpoena, hands up. I think it's a subpoena. Okay, you don't see everybody in the room, but subpoena wins.
Okay.
The subpoena wins. Only you guys like the Goldie move.
But because the Goldie,
I'll tell you why I like
because
it.
just like you explained it, you gave Goldie Kyle's number.
Yes.
He took that and used that against you.
Right. Well, that's a long play.
Yeah,
that was a
exactly.
long play.
And
Yeah,
that's what
a
I'm
long
saying. The
play.
subpoena thing, I
Yeah.
mean, you a lawyer, you can do all of that
I know,
stuff.
but it was brilliant
And
because
you probably hand wrote it really quick because he didn't open it until the girl walked away.
well, but it's kryptonite. That girl would never ever come near him.
No,
you got
no,
you
no.
and the
but
dude
now,
looked
but now Goldie knows
official.
exactly how to find you.
Yeah.
Well, he knows how to find y'all. I'm
Yeah.
across the street.
And you are with us all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, touche.
But he doesn't know that. He doesn't know that.
Touche.
But that means you can't come over
Oh,
to
he's
us
gonna
no
watch
more?
he's gonna watch the brownstone.
Oh,
He's
he
gonna
gonna
find
watch
you
the
eventually.
brownstone.
Great.
Yeah.
You know what?
He's gonna find
so
you
now I
eventually.
have a stalker with a gold tooth. Nice.
Max, why do we keep going at each other like this?
It's some sort of twisted compulsion.
Is it possible that perhaps underneath all the layers of contempt and animosity and bitterness that we feel for each other, that there lies a small bit of respect? Perhaps even, dare I say it, some affection? Gotcha.
Suck your mind, your booty shine. Nope.
Yeah.
Suck your mind, your booty shot.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that in 100 years. No, but I've forgotten what happened after that moment. I was really drawn in thinking like, okay, Kyle is going to sort of go for it and say, so I'm interested. There might be something here. And he decided to, nope.
Yeah.
But he got you.
Can't
He
do
pulled
it.
you right on the hook. Right on the
But
hook.
there was something
There
there.
was something
and
there.
that was the thing that really bothered her the most, because there was something there. And she
Mm-hmm.
was thinking it too. It was, you getting subpoenas and stuff like that. It's like, come on, man, it's
Oh, I
not
got
normal.
Kyle.
But that's y'all flirting. And that's the
That's
sickest part of it. This is y'all flirting. Y'all both appreciated that to where he just said, maybe there is something there,
Uh-huh.
Yes, it's toxic.
It
their
is.
rivalry.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of relationships out there that are like this. Like, we see things like this play out, especially on reality shows.
I'm
for
about
lack-
to
for-
say thank you.
Yeah, on
Good for
reality
you.
shows, that this toxic way of being, even as in friendships and relationships. And it's
Mhm.
like, why would you put your business out there like that and
Crazy.
be willing to something that's so sacred? It'd be different if you all were attracted to each other and it didn't work out. That's fine. But there's something sacred about a relationship, and people just blow them up and blow them off.
Well,
just for the
sacred
sake-
to you.
Ah,
I guess
there
to
it is.
each their own. Not
Yeah,
everybody
yeah.
feels like that's a sacred space. Have we devalued relationships in this day and age?
Well, it depends on the person, but I mean, as far as relationships go, people still doing what they've always done.
Mhm.
You can't really think about in terms of Max and Kyle because that's just just toxic, just
You can't
craziness.
use that as an example of
yeah,
any kind.
that can't be. So you can't even think about that. But I think relationships overall are pretty much the same.
Mhm.
You
know.
People are the same.
And just like in your case, some people don't like to give up the power. Some people have always been, in charge. And like you think about the way that Richie Rich was played in that. It's like you dominated that relationship.
That's
you
true.
called the shots
Right.
on that. Now you wasn't going to be able to do that with Carl Barker.
No.
And he knew that he wouldn't be able to play you like these the little girls that he was messing around with. So that was it was the control factor. That's what I figured this all out. So yeah,
You
we
sure
can move on.
did.
What's next? 'Cause
No,
I
no.
got this.
has it all
we don't
figured
need this is a Yahtzee. You can put your cards down now.
Come
we
on,
already
let's
know.
go.
Let's
You
just
right.
roll on with
He's
this. I
right.
got this.
Bravo. We got
if
the
you
love
just listen
doctor
to me,
here.
we can get this a lot quicker.
Sinclair does not really want to take me to the Bahamas. I'm just a convenient way out. So I'm willing to sacrifice my week of fun in the sun so that she can take one of you.
You giving up something for someone else?
Yeah, I'm a little dubious myself.
Regine, I just booked that condo in Aspen. Were you able to get out of that Bahamas thing?
Let's go, Steve.
So, who's it gonna be? I'm taking Overton.
My baby's come to her senses.
Oh, now I've hurt your feelings. No, it's not that. It's just you never dissed me for a man before. My little cousin's growing up.
Aw, woo.
There you go, like
good
it's supposed
thing.
to go. I
That's-
told y'all a
that's how
long
it's supposed
time
to
ago.
go.
You know what was supposed to
She
happen.
comes to her senses.
Finally.
I love it. And Michael J. White, a moment for Michael J. White. Maybe
Yeah.
we just have a moment. Spawn.
I did.
Oh, come on.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And didn't you say you worked with him on something? Or he
Oh,
helped
no,
you with something?
Michael J. White helped me get into shape. I don't know. There was a time on Living Single, it was like end of second, third season, where I was in amazing shape. I'm telling you, you can look on, at least it's locked in. And that's because he got to me on my diet. He said, Erica, this is how you eat. This is how you work out. And he just refined it. Next thing you know, my body said, "Toop, toop, 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 toop." He's
Mhm.
genius at that stuff.
Mhm.
The
Great
second,
actor.
third, you always had body. What are you talking
Well,
about?
this
Second, third.
Let me tell you something.
When y'all was running up the hills backwards and stuff,
Remember
both
we
of
were
y'all.
yeah.
That was
Kim
that was
I
year
took
one.
you on a fitness journey that had us in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, running up and down Hollywood Hills.
Backwards.
Backwards.
Yeah,
You
with
guys
Mr.
were so
Manda.
mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got so mad because I fell and
And you
injured
hurt
myself.
and you hurt your knee.
Yeah.
But Michael J. White is a really great martial artist. He and AJ Johnson
AJ Johnson
would work out and they would teach people how to eat. And at the time, that was pretty
Oh
revolutionary.
yeah,
Because
people weren't
people
thinking
were
about the nutrition piece of it. as
no,
part
and
of
they
the
were doing
diet.
it wrong because there were a lot of anorexia in Hollywood. And he was like, no, you're going to eat more than you ever have in life. And he did. He just upped my diet, but then also, corrected it. And what happened was I got muscle. And suddenly my body looked different. It wasn't just sort of lean. It was like muscular.
Mhm.
Woo, I look good. And I know why, because Angie Bassett asked me for tips.
That's what I'm talking about.
Right before,
That's
yes,
what I was
she
thinking.
did. Yes,
You're
she
looking-
did.
you're
She
looking
showed
like,
it. She said, "How
Anna
did
Mae.
you do whatever?" And I told her this was right before. What's love got to do?
That's what I'm saying.
Got to do
Because she
with
had
it.
guns and that.
She had
movie.
guns, and she has an amazing behind. Her booty is just, something the Lord made. No, I'm just bragging, just a little bit. But anyway,
Okay.
good. You finally made the decision,
decision.
and she's going to take her man, which I think it's great. Picking your man is a big deal from breaking from your
Oh, sure.
your cousin.
From cuz, yeah.
Right, because she's naive and she's been sheltered. And this is
Yeah.
a very grown-up decision to make.
Exactly.
It was a big step.
Yes.
And it was the right step,
Yeah.
as I said earlier.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
it was the
what's
right
up.
step. You win. You win.
Overton is the big winner.
Right now, it's going to be John, 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 all the time, John, and
Yeah.
more John
That's right.
On the reverb.
on the reverb. Okay, Erica.
Talk to me.
Black excellence. Go. I'll start. Living single.
Okay, our beautiful melanin in all shade, family cookouts, hip hop, R&B, basically every genre of music.
Okay, you know how we invented all them line dances and people know the songs and they know how to do all the
Yes,
line
I
dances?
do.
How do we do that? Black
I
excellence.
don't know. And our hair. Our hair, the way it grows from our scalp, we can do so much. Natural, locks, cornrows.
And it fades. Exactly. See, Black excellence has layers. You see what I did there?
I saw it.
And Lexus, well, they understand and deliver the luxury that we deserve.
Because when you embody excellence, you need a ride that moves like you do, smooth, smart, and impossible to ignore.
Oh, from the moment that you touch that wheel, Alexa says, I didn't just show up, I showed out.
No, it's more than a car. It represents how you walk through the world. Intentional, grounded, fly, without even trying.
Because that's what Alexis does. It makes you feel amazing.
And look good too.
Well, then there's that.
Welcome to The Reverb, brought to you by Lexus. This is where we reflect, connect, and talk about how the episode's themes still echo in the culture. Because just like our stories, Lexus keeps raising the bar. That's the standard of amazing. Okay, we gotta talk Love American Style, because this is one of the great romantic relationships on TV, Sinclair and Overton. Wow. Let's talk about it.
The sweetness, the romance, the little names that we had for each other.
Mm-hmm.
And what I learned from you, John, you're playing a character, right? But what I learned about men from watching you is that when a man knows what he wants, he knows what he wants.
Right.
And that was Overton. He knew what he wanted. And early on, he was like, that one right there. And so I later learned, because other men will tell you, oh, no, that's a thing. Like when we know, we know. Can you talk about that? And talk about that in your life as well?
When we first met, he knew that, we were similar.
Mm-hmm.
You were attractive, and it was just something that had to be. He probably might have had a couple relationships. We had the one relationship where Tammy Townsend was on, and she played Melody, and she hurt me real bad in Cleveland. But that's the only other, maybe the only other real relationship he had.
Cree Summer came on and played a really beautiful relationship that seemed perfect.
Yeah, she did. But I was still hung up on her. When you know what you want, then you just go on and get it. And not even Cree Summer.
That's
what's
what's
up.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah,
it's innocent and old fashioned, and you court each other.
Yeah.
The one show I was thinking about that I really liked was when we were trying not to have sex. And everything around us was like, y'all need to do it. And it was all this pressure and stuff. And we didn't want it. We wanted to wait. And so we were in the apartment, and we said, we're not going to do anything. And we were just being romantic. And every song that came on was about, girl, I want to do this. And we had to just cut off and I just started singing Frank Sinatra. I just, shooby dooby doo. I just loved that scene. That was just such a Overton Sinclair moment. Yeah. I really enjoyed that.
I did too.
I enjoyed you. Great, both of you, great actresses. But it was one scene to where I got jealous because Shamar Moore rolled up on you.
That's right.
And I wasn't having it. It was a great scene, but the thing that I really appreciated out of that, when you kissed him, and that was the one where I said, still kissing. And kissing. It was only 5 seconds I kissed, I'm doing that. I loved that part, but I loved your acting, because when you kissed him, you did about 5-6 different emotions in 2 seconds. It was shock.
I remember you're like,
your eyes did so much.
It's true.
And I'm talking about 3-4. It was no time at all, but it was just, you saw everything register. And it was just like,
she was into
and I was like,
and
what a great actor. I was still mad because you kissed him.
He kissed me.
Yeah, anyway, yeah.
He kissed me.
Anyway, Diamond Dan Sinclair.
Hey, big fella.
Still kissing.
Kissing.
Still kissing.
Well, it's nice because nowadays everything seems so disposable, like next. But what we're finding out is that this is the great age where they're saying people don't date anybody. In fact, they're not only afraid to, they don't know how. And they don't have the, what you both seem to have in spades, which is the self-discipline of allowing it to unfold.
And the patience, because there's a bigger payoff later on.
It just shows how long ago this show was.
It sure
Because right now it's like swipe, no. Okay, there you go.
There you
and,
go, right
and
now.
15 minutes later,
Right.
bing, like faster than dominoes, man.
My God. I'd like to talk about John Hinton now.
Let's talk about you.
John
There's no
Hinton.
reason to
We've
do
got
that.
to.
Oh,
Comedy
no.
man.
Oh, Pshaw.
Who are some
Yes,
of your
please.
My influences?
Yeah.
I was really influenced by English comedy. I loved English comedy.
I love English comedy. You're right.
For various reasons. Like I love Monty Python.
Come on.
Mr. Bean, Rowan Atkinson, Blackadder. It was a lot of English stuff that I really loved. It was like the stand-up is like, I love George Carlin. Everybody loved Richard Pryor, but it was just different people, like Rodney Winfield. That was the first one I saw. He was opening up for the dramatics. I'd heard Richard Pryor and Flip Wilson, all the Pigmeat Martin, all of them. But when I saw that guy there, and I was like, man, I'd like to do that.
Yeah, I'd like to
and that was the guy.
What were you doing at the time that you saw? Was this when you were young, or were you working a 9 to 5?
I probably was still in college. And then I took a break, and it was right about the time when I guess I started doing stand up.
Okay.
Because I took a break. I was going to the Ohio State University.
There you go.
And
what did you want to do? What were you studying?
Systems analyst, computer science. That was my thing. I was going to be a systems analyst. I was going to travel around the country setting up computers. And this was back in the day. This was before computers had hit. So I was on top of it.
You should have
hear me?
stayed there,
I was ready.
brother.
But I wouldn't have met you.
No, for sure.
I wouldn't have
but
met you.
If you met me,
So-
you'd have had ducats. And I need them ducats. My God. Oh, good for you. You oh my God.
Well, actually, I did all right with this.
You did.
sure
You did. all right,
did.
all
You
right.
did.
Some
did.
people might
I'm
say.
talking about that. You know what I'm talking
some
about.
people might say I did all right, but
did
you
excellently
that-
with this.
But yeah, that's what I was gonna
Okay.
do. I got a chance to do Cleveland Comedy Club. Sunday night is amateur night. Anybody can come down. So all my friends dared me to go down. Ernie Horvath, he dared me to go down, and I went down, and I didn't win that first night, but I went back the following week and I won, and I was like, that was it.
That's it. This is
That's
what I'm
it.
gonna
I
do.
mean, I'm show business. That's my name now. Show business. That's it. You can't tell me
Nothing but a
nothing.
buzz.
This about to
Wow.
happen. It's
I
going
love it.
down.
And did you
And
go on the road? And what was the grind like on the road?
I was an opener for a while, $50 for the week, and something like that. This was right when comedy was booming, and it was a new comedy club called the Funny Bones. They had just opened because the club I was in, it was only a few comedy clubs at the time. Most of the people, they were doing it in bars or clubs or something like that. But Funny Bones had just started, in the course of a couple years, I played like these brand new venues because about 8 or 9 of them opened up. They were all over the place. So yeah, so I started doing comedy at the perfect time.
I'm going to ask you, what is some of your best advice you would give to someone starting out as a stand-up right now?
It's the same advice I always give. It's like, do it because you love to do it. Because the thing is, it's like a lot of times you're not getting paid, but you just want that stage time. I just want to make people laugh. I want that crowd response. And that's more important than anything. So every show is important, whether it's 5 people in there or it's sold out. And always be ready. Like when I got the Tonight Show, the way that I got it was because I was in Atlanta. And I was doing the Comedy Act Theater. I got into Atlanta Airport and I saw Bud Friedman. He was in town too.
Tell
So,
them who Bud Friedman is.
Bud Friedman was the owner of the Improvs. So this is big time stuff. So I had did an audition for him like a couple months earlier, and it was horrible.
It wasn't horrible. It was horrible.
Horrible. Oh my gosh. I went over there and I said, hey, Bud, look, I did a showcase for you a couple months ago. It was horrible. And I'd like to, one day, I'd like to do another showcase for you. He said, well, it just so happens I'm in town. They were doing this comedy search called the Johnny Walker Comedy Competition in Atlanta, and they were doing the finals there. And he said, if you want, I can check you out tonight. Now, went down there that night and won the Johnny Walker in Atlanta. And from that, we went to LA and I won the whole thing. And after I won that, then the talent coordinator, Jim McCauley, came up to me and he said, some of those things, some of those jokes you can do, some of them you can't do, but you got the Tonight Show.
You didn't even know you were trying for it.
Dude, I didn't know. So I say all of that because The bottom line is just be ready. Like I just went up to Bud and he said, all right, you can come on that night. And
That
night, that's
Fearless,
it.
even though you had been horrible a few months
horrible.
horrible.
Did I tell you that enough? Horrible. Yeah.
You know, you're kind of a man of mystery because I was thinking
Mystery?
about, yeah,
Me?
because what I really respect about you is your private life is your private life, but you're a dad,
Yeah.
you know.
Has 700 sisters.
Three.
Yeah.
3.
And you obviously had 9 to 5s, and thanks for telling us how that happened because it seemed so quick. Suddenly you go here, and then suddenly the universe divinely pushes you out in front and you just happen to be ready.
You're so driven that, you know, it's like you never stop. You've always been, you know, you're like the shark. You got to keep swimming and you always swimming and things are happening. Look at like these past few years. I was just
blessed.
watching, because I sent you a text. And you didn't respond to it, so I guess you ain't get it. Because I texted you. Yeah, look, I tell you what.
Oh my God!
I texted you because I was watching that American Fiction. Oh my goodness!
Oh,
What I love that film, that movie film. And I sent you a text, and I said, "Let me see if I can find this."
They're actually checking the text.
No, because see, I sent it.
Even
as we speak.
Love your work, love your smile. Hope all is well. You're right. I didn't say.
You didn't see it.
You know,
and you showed send that.
And he took a screenshot of her beautiful picture.
Oh, wow. I'm so impressed.
I'm sending her love, and I'm just saying, oh, I love your work. Beautiful smile, because I always love her little, she got like a 3rd grade smile. Like, it's just so cute. And then the hair was all luxurious and stuff. And it's like, yeah.
Thank you.
I really enjoyed it. But anyway, no response, though, by the way. None. Because she got movies and stuff. She big. She holler. Do your thing, baby. I ain't mad at you.
Listen, you know what I
do. What you do.
You know what I love about you.
What you love
that you're
about
so
me?
forgiving.
You know, after a while, it take a while, but I'm gonna make you feel a certain way first. Then I'll forgive you.
Let's talk about resurrection because I don't want to mention that you had an accident and that you've come back from that and you rebuilt your career from that. Can you talk a little bit about how that went
and the time frame of that
healing
as well?
The time frame from that was actually it was quite short because I felt so bad. I was hurting a lot of people. I thought I was just hurting myself, but I was hurting a lot of people. When it happened, I was in the middle of the show we were taping. I was on the Hughleys, and we had this party. We had, the Hughleys went from ABC to UPN, the Underpaid Negro Network.
That's right, Underpaid Negro Network.
And so we did that. And I'll never forget you said that.
It's true, though.
It's brilliant, this one. And so there was a party, and it was free liquor, where you know this ain't gonna turn out well. I just drank, and we had a limo that took me back to my dressing room. I was gonna sleep in the dressing room. Because, you know, that would have been the smart move. And then, you get up and you just do the rest of the show. That's what normally would happen. But I laid down in my dressing room, and my friend called up and he said that the drug dealer had just got some fresh coke. So it just so happens I was out of coke. And so I got up. I didn't drive the car. It was my habit that drove the car. So anyway, I got up and drove. I'm drunk as hell, but I put my seatbelt on. I'm drunk, but safety first.
Sorry.
Safety first.
Safety first.
So I get in the car and I drive. I blacked out somewhere because I hit a car somewhere on Highland, right by the Hollywood Bowl. And then I got on the 101 and I ended up hitting the wall at about 100 and something miles an hour.
You had a very fast car.
Yeah, it was. Until that night.
Yeah.
And then I hit the wall, and it took them 4 hours to cut me out the car.
What?
And it was 4 hours. And the reason why I know that is because I had to do community service afterwards, right? You know, where you got to do on the road work. And my the supervisor for my community service, he was there that night. And he told me, he said, "Man, you cost me $100. I said, "What are you talking about?" "Oh, I was there that night. I saw you. And I bet my boy," I said, $100, ain't nobody coming out of that car alive.
Oh, my God.
And I said, well, I'm glad you lost that
I
money.
know that's right.
Glad you lost that
sorry,
bet.
sorry about that one, bro. You know, I'll pay you back. And so I felt so bad because I let so many people down. You know, like I got to show the Hughley. I mean, we're in the middle of this stuff, man. And so I really didn't miss a lot of time because we only did 3 shows a month. And I think I might have missed like a month and a half or so.
That's amazing.
Because I had to get back. So when I came back, like I messed up my eye, so I put some glasses on. I had 2 walking casts, and they were shooting me from the waist up. But I had to get back because I had let so many people down. So I tried to do as much as I could immediately because I just felt so stupid.
I gotta say something about the feeling inside of performers that the show must go on, almost to our detriment. Because I feel that way a lot. I'm exhausted a lot and all these other things. And yet you go, there's people depending on me. I have to show up. I can't break down now. I must move forward. And I think that also, if you are in a space that you might have an addiction and or an addiction to sometime drugs and or work, you know, probably sounds like both. That one stops you physically almost, and yet your first thought is, I'm letting people down. I have to get back, you know, and all that other stuff, which is kind of nuts.
Yeah, well, that would be me. So, yeah.
Can I offer another
You
perspective?
ain't just met me.
No, but
that's
deep,
hi,
though,
hello.
man.
Can I offer another perspective
Yes.
too?
Please.
And then we're going to talk about how we came to the hospital, we saw you, and I'll get there in just a moment. Yes, so I'm grateful that you're sharing this piece of, I didn't want to let people down, but I wonder if that drive got you up and back on your feet even sooner. So there's another perspective there that you decided, I'm letting folks down. Let me go to my physical therapy.
Yeah.
Let me, put on these glasses. Let me get myself healed. Let me do whatever exercises I need to do
Whatever I gotta
to get
do.
back to work. And
I didn't
wonder,
do the exercise.
Oh, you didn't?
I just no. I did just enough to get back on that set. You know,
Right.
that's it. Because I was still a mess. Because after it happened, now I'm sitting there like I was really confused as to why I was still here. My God help me out on that one, Jack. Because I know that.
That was also the times. Everybody needs to understand that there was a lot of, for our generation especially, there was just a lot of substance abuse. And so people who can tell the tale and live to tell the tale, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But I have to thank you because last time I saw you, I told you the story about some really wise words. Like Erica's the youngest. We call her baby sister, but you like the wisest of us all.
Well,
and
Dana
she
is
would
by
she
3
would sit
months.
me down and talk. And you said some things to me that really resonated. Not at the time, but when I was trying to get myself together. And I told you this last time. It's like you really helped to save my life because I took that information and turned it into something. And between that, like I said, God pulled me out of that car. I know that. You helped out. And when I had my daughter, my baby girl got here.
Oh,
Because when my Nico got here, that was it. Because I realized that it's not about me anymore. It's because like I'm a comic, I'm an actor. Everything is selfish. It's all about me, 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 me. But when you got a beautiful little girl looking up to you, and I said, you know what? I'm not gonna let you down. And that was what turned me around. And that little girl saved my life. You know, if I kept getting high and I OD'd or something, she would never understand. You know, and you can't do that to no kid, man.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
What an incredible story. What an incredible man. And somebody will be watching this and listening to this, and their lives will be changed because of that testimony. John, you're amazing.
Thank you. Just made a lot of mistakes.
But you didn't make one with her.
Nope.
She's part of your recovery
Oh,
and
listen.
your healing.
And you do a great job with her. We've seen you with her. Man, that little girl is your heart, and she knows it.
And she takes all my money.
As well.
See, that's the thing. When you tell somebody they saved your life, they got you now. Now they got
They're
you.
gonna make you pay for it.
Right now. I can check that credit card I got it right now. I guarantee you.
For sure.
Guaranteed.
For
I told her
sure.
not to spend no money this month. She is.
No,
She can't, because she knows she got me.
she
For
got your
sure,
heart.
for
She
sure.
got your heart.
She got me, but
What a blessed
that's
little
baby girl. So I put everything together, and it's
Mm.
I'm a much better person now. I like to think that, I got God in my life now, and
Mm.
which is a big thing for me. And when you have that, and you I have peace now, because that's something that I never had before. I was feeling a certain way, because it's like when you're doing the right thing by God, I was feeling so good, and I was like, I never felt this way before, and I was like, feel content, and I'm like, I've never said that before, content, and I looked in the dictionary, and I was like, what is content? And it's the state of peaceful happiness. And that's something that I never had before. I like to think that I'm a much better person now. I got to take care of baby girl, and I got to take care of my responsibilities, and I got to be a man of God, and do what I'm supposed to do. So that's what I'm trying to do now. And yeah. So what's the next question?
By the way,
I just-
what's the next question? Is there something else?
No one taught us how to do these things. No one taught us how to balance, as you say, our thoughts and anxieties, the things that we can't say and subconsciously. But here you are, and you're able to deliver a masterclass. You just did. You just did.
You just did.
So thank you, because we need that. We need people being honest about where that is, because they think that we're out here you're just blowing
that is
it.
glamorous.
They
So
don't
that
know.
is-
They don't know.
Just so glad to be here with you.
I'm sorry that you went through all that pain, and your pain is now turned into purpose. And someone watching this, someone is praying for this message you're delivering right now. You're a generous man. And what you just did was very generous, sharing your heart with us, sharing pieces of the story that we didn't know.
Yeah.
I always say that I'm grateful that night that social media wasn't available yet. I'm so
gosh.
grateful. I'm
Yeah.
grateful for your cousin Dre, who
he shut
was
it
on the
down.
police force,
Yeah.
who made sure there was a cone of peace around you until
Yeah.
you were ready to tell the story, until the story was ready to be told. We all found out. Phone call to Dana. Dana gets on a plane and comes. We're all there with you, and it was scary to see and watch. But I felt that you would pull through. You were strong, even in that moment. In those moments, you were strong in your way of fighting back to a you that you didn't even know yet. And so
Yeah.
I'm glad that we got to meet this man. We already loved the other guy, and we
Yeah.
love this guy too. And thank you.
Thank you for saying that.
Your legacy, what would you say?
I guess Overton is my legacy. Just the fact that was my first gig, and just some steady, solid work. I would hear from writers, and they would say, you know what, we give it to John, he'll make it funny. And that's like the biggest compliment you can get. John Bowman, who was the first year on the Hughleys, and he did Martin, and he's great. He passed a couple years ago, but he gave me the best compliment. He said, you do your lines the way we write them. So consistency, and I was always on, and that's it. Nothing special, I'm just straight up. I'm gonna do the gig, man. And
that's pretty special.
Yeah, and that's
all special.
and
That's extraordinary.
And that's it. When you get that type of compliment, and it's just like, okay, cool. We're gonna make it happen. I can do the funny. I can do that.
You are the funny.
You are the funny.
I
John.
do the best I can.
did.
And I've said way too much.
You've
And
said it all.
no,
Thank
I've
you.
said
I
way
love
too much.
you.
See, that's what I'm saying. You
John
Erica,
Hinton.
no,
Ladies and
no,
gentlemen.
John
see,
Hinton.
no, stop it.
No, it's real.
Yeah.
We're going to do True Blue now.
True Blue.
Yes,
All
I'm going to
right.
ask a question.
Hey, this is the part of the show where we do something called True Blue. And True Blue is about the fans.
Okay.
And they write in and they call
They
in.
got questions?
They got questions.
And queries?
No,
they
they
got queries.
They got like the ladies, man. What is your query?
What is your
Remember
query?
the ladies, man? Tim
What is
Meadows.
your
Oh my
query?
gosh. All right, go.
Amber, what is our latest query?
All right. So this one is from Mikey, and this is for John specifically. He says, hello, my name is Mikey, and I'm a huge fan of the series. Was Overton's gripe about the Cleveland Browns autobiographical? And what are your current thoughts on the Cleveland Browns?
I was so mad about them taking the Browns. And then they go to Baltimore, and then 2 years later, they win the Super Bowl. They ain't win nothing in Cleveland. They leave Cleveland. 2 years later, they're the hottest team in the... Yeah, it was very real, Mikey, to say the least. And the state of the Browns now is just chaos, but that's how we like it in Cleveland. And but we got Shedeur Sanders. We got Coach Prime's son. We got him in the 5th round. So I'm hoping he can. We got Flacco now. We got a quarterback now. We got defense. We'll see how it all plays out. But nobody's expecting anything now.
Look, he's serious about this.
Yeah.
We going
so we got.
football.
Look at.
I don't know what he's talking about.
But that's all right. Just pay some attention. You'll be all right. Now. We got Sanders, so I'm hoping he comes through. We got a great draft. We got the boy from Ohio State. We got the running back from Ohio State. We got Junkins. We got linebackers. We got help, and we'll see what happens. You know, ain't nobody expecting anything. We see what's happening. That's all. Because it was no sports in Cleveland for a long time. LeBron took sports and brought them out here to L.A. When he left, sports just it was just nothing. We didn't have. Nothing, because when LeBron was there, it was happening. We had all kind of stuff. I'm just writing it. Mikey started this. I'm gonna tell him. Look, Mikey started, and we gonna finish it.
I love it.
Look here. This is what happened. When LeBron was there, he brought money downtown. Like Cleveland, you go to Cleveland now, we got hotels and stuff. We got nice stuff down there. We didn't have that before, but he brought that all down there, and it was good. And it's like we went to the final 3 years in a row, and then them seats was expensive. If you wanted to sit courtside, them seats was $2,500 a piece when LeBron was there. I went to a game a couple years ago. I paid $10. I sat on the end of the Cavs bench. Almost got in the game, too.
Well,
ladies and
it's the with the joke. You see what I did there? You see, Mikey started all of this. But anyway.
That's our show, y'all.
Mikey liked it.
Yeah,
Mikey liked it.
Is our
Thanks,
show.
Mikey.
That's our show. All right, we done. I'm finished talking now. That's enough for all of y'all. This is wonderful.
That was bravo.
Yeah.
Bravo.
Listen, John, thank you so much.
No, thank you. Like I told you, thank you. I'm family.
Forever.
And we love you forever. Make sure to follow us on all our socials at Reliving Single Podcast and listen and watch us on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts.
Like, subscribe, watch all the way through, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Listen, I hope y'all are having fun because you can tell that we are.
Reliving Single is hosted by me, Eric Alexander.
And me, Kim Coles.
Reliving Single is a production of Heartbeat in association with Color Farm Media.
Executive produced by Kevin Hart, Jeff Clanagan, Eric Eddings, Leslie Guam, Erica Alexander, and Ben Arnon.
The show is produced by Kim Coles.
Amber Watson is our senior producer.
Our associate producer is Kenny Jackson.
Our other associate producer is Electra Telesford. Our video editor is Nee Kirschman.
Our sound engineers are Eric Hicks and Cedric Wilson.
Production supervision by Razak Boykin and Brett Calkins.
Additional production support from Alex Atkins and Z. Taylor.
Special thanks to BK Augustine and Dr. E.J. Johnson.